Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to
Hi.
the Cardano Summit. And hello to you, Chris.
Thank you very much.
That's a new face for a lot of you guys watching. Why don't you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hi, guys. Thank you very much for having me on. It was great to have you at the summit in London as well. It was very much appreciated.
Yeah.
But yeah, my name is Chris from Upstream Staking Pool in London. We're a small community-focused stake pool who sort of organises in face-to-face and in real life events for the Cardano community.
Yeah. See, and Einstein, most of the people watching already know you, but in 5 words.
Okay, staking pool operator AMP.
Yeah.
Idan
And I'm Thomas. I'm the host of Cardano Summit this year. And right now we're going to talk a little bit about not the summit in Oslo, because that's where we are, but we're going to talk about the summit event in London, where me and Einstein and also Nido came from Norway to both participate and as attendees. So first of all, I gotta say it was a great event. It was super fun to be there. It's actually my first summit event as an attendee. I've been to all of them, but I've only hosted. So it was really nice to be there without any duties.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, no, we had a really great time. It was lovely to see everyone. We got a good community sort of in London in the UK. But unfortunately, a lot of them are quite well involved, so they all disappear off to the main events quite often. But it was brilliant to have you guys over as well. And so we had a good number of people travelling in, quite notably from a number of different countries as well to come and visit us. So yeah, we felt very privileged about that.
People from Portugal, there were people from
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was international attendance, absolutely, and there was quite a few people as well. Guessing around 50 people.
Yeah, it was about 50.
Minutes.
Yep.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do now is just a little recap of what went on, and the first thing that happened at the summit event in London was a keynote speaker by Christian Unger from the CNC Alliance. So what the CNC Alliance is climate neutral Cardano, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that's correct. That's correct.
And they're an alliance of several staking pools and projects that are working towards not only climate neutral but climate positive.
Absolutely. So if you want me to jump in, they're a group of carbon neutral run stake pools. Obviously. And there are, I think there's quite a few now. There's going to be about 35, 40 maybe. Which is a good number. There's different tiers to the membership as well. So, you can support them in different methods. But they're doing a really good job and have been doing a good job for a long time now.
Absolutely. They also had, they talked about the NFT series that they have released, both released themselves and also partnered projects that they have to fund working towards climate positivity. And it was a really good talk from Christian.
It was very well put across. We're going to try and share a copy of his presentation as well at some point, because obviously it was very good and it's worth noting. But yeah, they do an amazing job. So they're reforesting Madagascar, an area of Madagascar, with in partnership with a NGO based over there called Teti Kasala. And it's not just reforestation. It's a community approach to re-educating the local population and the farmers as to the most sustainable agroecological version of farming they can do in the area. So they're reforesting with the hope of improving the soil structure, but also not just putting trees in there. There'll be a variation of fruit trees as well, so it supplies crops back to the farmers themselves. And then they're also looking at sort of like techniques of companion planting, so they can plant other plants as well as the trees to really make the most of the land and give the farmers a decent income from the area that they have. But obviously all recorded and all funded by Cardano or on Cardano.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a really good project they've been doing. They've just closed up their IPO 2 months ago. They've done really well in that. They've raised a lot of money for the project, and I think everyone's very pleased with how it's gone. Just looking forward to what they're going to do next.
And they also, what they will do next is, or at least one of the things that they're doing next. Christian mentioned, teased a little bit. They are making a documentary about what they're doing. They've hired or partnered with a professional documentary maker, and that will be there for, I think he said 3 weeks.
Yeah, I believe so. I think he may have just got there at the moment. I know they were talking about trying to have it released, documentary released in the new year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's John. I spoke to him before, John. I can't remember his surname, but he worked with Empower in America as well, doing documentary filming for them.
Yeah, he did something with Empower.
So he's just jetted over to Madagascar, go and do some filming over there for the CNC team, and then hopefully next year we'll have a nice little documentary, really sort of showcasing the work that's being done.
Yeah, talked a little bit after the presentation with Christian, and he also said that it will be able to mint. So thumbs up for that. And then after that, we had an SPO panel.
Thomas,
yeah.
Before I move on, one thing that made impression on me was when they talked about transparency and how they actually collaborated with a smaller charity and a smaller organization because they were willing to do all of this on the blockchain. So this is so cool to see. I am doing the Kiva, we're doing that off the blockchain, but ideally we want more and more of these projects to be transparent, be on the blockchain. You can see exactly where all of the ADA goes. So hats off to, I think it was Shift Pool, Chris.
Yes,
he was from
Christian's Pool, Shift Pool.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. As I just wanted to add that bit before.
Absolutely. And then we had an SPO panel, and I said you just said Shift Pool. So Christian, he was part of this panel as well, representing Shift Pool. Let's see, and then we had representatives from MIDA.
Yes, that was Martin. That was Martin who travelled in from Bulgaria for MIDA.
Martin,
he was also representing the XSPO, extra small.
Yeah, and then we had, of course, Einstein from ANP. Let's see, I don't have the name here. It was
John from Fluid Pool.
John from Fluid, yes. And you had you from Upstream.
Indeed.
So since both of you were part of this panel, I'm just going to shut up and let you guys talk about it.
It was that was really interesting. I was lucky enough to be on the staple panel last year's London Summit as well, where we had another great variety of staples. It really is good just to be able to hear and get everyone's different perspective.
That struck me.
Yeah,
it was so varied. The panel, that was really awesome to see.
Sorry, one second.
Yeah.
Sorry, my laptop was trying to turn itself off. But yeah, no, to see the variety of pools and the sort of difference in approach, but also quite a common theme amongst the pools, regardless of size and sort of the amount of time they've been in the game. Even though it does vary slightly, there was still a nice overlap between all the pools. Everyone's in it for very similar reasons. They're just going about it in slightly different ways, which I thought was quite nice to see. We try.
I absolutely agree on that.
Yeah.
And so we try not to get too deep on the technical side of it at the SPO panels. At the summits, you don't want to, it probably depends on the audience, but yeah, don't want everyone nodding off before lunchtime.
Will this panel also be? I mean, no, everything got taped. So will there be a video about it for those
Yeah,
that
I
are
believe
interested?
so. I believe that is the plan. I think Dave is our videographer. He will be frantically editing away at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shot off a little bit early after the summit. I know he wanted to get back and get a head start on a couple of bits. So yeah, hopefully any time now should be fairly imminent.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Let's see, and then we had a lunch break after that, and it was excellent food, by the way. Yeah.
Actually, if I can touch on, during the lunch break, we had a couple of areas. We had Barney and his team from Ladswag,
Yeah.
the NFT project that supports veterans of the UK armed forces. But I know, as you will hear in some of the recordings of the panels, they've got fairly big plans for that. I think they're looking at sort of really pushing along with that. So that was interesting. And we also had support from Cardano Timelines, from the teams based down in Latin America.
Yeah.
Where I know they've done it last year as well, but they've got an updated timeline, and it was quite nice, and it was good to have a sort of an interactive part where people could get involved, come along, mark down where and at what point they sort of joined the ecosystem. So that was that was good of them. Just a little thank you to those guys for coming down and sort of representing.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was my second time, and I mean both of yours as well. Second time signing one of those. I saw it first in Edinburgh, and I think what you did there was to tell people to sign when they came into Cardano was a great thing, because in Edinburgh, Charles signed his name first, and then everyone just fought over who got to put their name closest to Charles's. So got a little bit more spread out this time. But after the lunch, there was another keynote speaker. It was Pierre, and I can't remember her name.
I'll be honest, I feel really bad. Neither can I. Neither can I now. I wasn't part of organising those. But yeah, no, Pierre and his partner from Kick, which is a Web3 marketing agency. It's nice to have some sort of a slightly different approach as well on some different aspects of people within the space. Obviously, marketing's a key bit. We touched on it during the SPO panel. Actually, I think that broadly, marketing was by far the biggest headache for any stateful operator. Just the amount of time and effort involved. But no, it was good to see what they had to say about the marketing, and obviously their experience in it working with Terra Virtua as well.
Yeah, I mean how
the process worked. Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
They have an amazing amount of experience in marketing. I think what did they say about combine those two alone about 50 years?
Yeah, it was, I can't remember exactly. It was a long time though. I know they've got a lot of marketing.
And for those that have followed this summit for a couple of years, would have seen what they are doing without even knowing it, because they used to be Terra Virtua. That's the company that made the island of in 22. So the place that we jumped around in and looked for NFTs. No, that was it 21, 22? 21 was in 21. It had to be, yeah.
Yeah, it was not 2020 at least. I know.
No, because last year it was the virtual place in Switzerland. So yeah, 21. So if you jumped around on that island or collected the NFTs there, that's all from Terra Virtua. But it was a really, really good presentation. They had a lot of interesting things to say about marketing, especially Web3 based marketing. It was not much talk about marketing in general, but very much focused towards Web3. So that's also really interesting, and absolutely a video you should watch when it comes up. And then lastly, we had a creators panel, and there we had one of our sponsors, and I think is it one of yours as well. Was he a sponsor or
Supporter. We didn't have any. We didn't have any
supporter?
official
Yeah,
sponsors. Everyone was a
yeah.
supporter.
So I'm talking about Nido, of course. He's sponsoring this event in Oslo, and he was partnered or supporting yours. He was there signing CDs, and he was also a part of this panel. And
It was
out of
amazing.
everyone
It
who,
was amazing
out
to
of
speak to him. We've spoke quite a lot online. It's the best thing about these sort of opportunities, isn't it? Is a chance to actually meet everyone face to
yeah,
face.
yeah,
But yeah, no,
and
that was really good. Yeah, glad he came down. Another representative.
yeah, absolutely. And his popularity really showed there. I mean, he was probably the person I saw that was talked to the most. Everyone wanted to talk with him, and I can get behind that. I really understand why. He's a great guy and makes really good music as well. So thumbs up for that. But other than Nido, we also had let's see, we had Bart from Directed Dev.
Second year running that they've represented. We
Yeah,
had one of his colleagues last year as well, but they're a really good little project based in UK
Fantastic.
based projects doing charitable work in Africa. So they're supporting education and scholarships to
yeah,
all sort of within the industry, all focused sort of towards Web3. And they've got their NFT run out as well. Yeah, really good little project. Definitely worth having a little
yeah,
follow of those guys.
yeah. Absolutely, that was it was great to hear what they are doing down in Africa, and they have. I was surprised to see how many people they actually already gave scholarships and support for. Can't remember the number, but it was quite substantial.
Yeah, no, they've
Um,
been busy.
yeah, and of course we had Nido.
We had Patrick as well, Patrick Carter, the one of the ambassadors.
Yep.
It's really good to have him on board. He's obviously been ambassador for a little while, and he does pieces on Cardano projects and people as well, doesn't he? On Medium pieces. He
Yeah.
was one of the very first people to show us any love. Actually, when we fired up the stake pool, probably 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the very first people to reach out and strike up a conversation and ask if he could do a little piece on us.
Yeah.
So we felt we
He's
should repay the favour, shouldn't we?
yeah. Patrick is great, and I read everything he comes out with on Medium, and he's one of the few guys actually that does written interviews. He has his own little niche, and it's really great. Um, and then he had let's see, we had Eric
Eric, indeed.
do now.
Eric Dunnery, that's it. He's works within AI.
Yeah,
So that was quite an interesting.
that was really interesting guy, and a really interesting. He does a lot of stuff. I mean, I was surprised to see how much he actually does. Because it's not just crypto, it's AI, it's cybersecurity, it's
That's really interesting. There's always a good conversation with Eric. Whenever we bump into him at any event,
yeah,
you can always have a good conversation about that.
vast amount of knowledge it seemed.
Absolutely, whole range of subjects.
Yeah,
Had a good talk with him in the lunches, and yeah, he's a very knowledgeable guy, and that is great.
see, and we also had see someone representing Ladswag.
Barney.
Yeah,
Barney from
said
Ladswag,
Christopher here, but yeah, it was Barney. Yeah, and you already touched upon what they are doing, but just to refreshen it a little bit, they are an NFT community, or NFTs project with a great community, and they are supporting. If was it
veterans
Yeah.
for the armed services,
Yeah.
Which obviously Barney served himself. I believe he's got the military cross. I believe it's quite a high leveled yeah.
Yeah.
But he's a great guy. They put a lot of effort as well into the day. Obviously, they had the stand as well. I know there was a lot of travelling and a lot of plans were worked on to make sure they could get there and do what they did. But yeah, no, it was really good to see them.
Yeah, and I actually noticed something to me at least was fun because he mentioned you probably know the name was a veterans organization that he mentioned.
The Royal Legion.
Yeah, Royal Legion. And when I took the train back to the airport, when I went to the tube station, I saw someone sitting there selling pins for that organization. So I was like, that's the one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was this weekend. Is this weekend coming? So there's going to be a build up to that. But it was good to have them represented. They do a lot of good work and support.
Yeah, they do, and they also have a game coming up, full-on game, and that was also really interesting to see. And so you're going to be able to use your NFTs as a playable character, from what I understood. So your NFT is the avatar in the game, and that's always fun. To integrate blockchain tech into more traditional Web 2, or not even Web. But there was one more person, and I can't seem to find a name
Steffi?
for her.
Maybe Steffi was the co-host for the second panel.
Yes.
Yeah, Steffi from Financial Fox.
Yeah.
Financial Fox, that was the one.
Yeah. I thought she also need a little shout out here because she was a great panel host.
He's an OG, you know.
She brought a whole load of experience that we don't necessarily have. But yeah, no, it was really nice of her. She completely volunteered it all off her own back, her own time. Came down, got involved, and stepped in for us. And she brought the amazing mascot as well, the little pug. Was it Bongo?
Yeah. I didn't get the name there, but yeah, it was a pug. He almost attacked my husky, so good on him.
Husky deserves it. Yeah. No, we had a fantastic day, and then just a huge thank you really to everyone that came along and contributed. And we know it's not easy. There's always a lot of planning to do, and a lot to get done. But yeah, everyone just done an amazing job, and really appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what that's why we do this, right? We you know this as well as I do, and also Einstein knows this, that putting up a thing like a summit, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. Luckily it's sponsored, so it doesn't cost a lot. but it does take a lot of time, and there are so many emails, so many messages, so many people to get the ball rolling, and but the end result is always worth the work, at least to me. Yeah, it's a great way to contribute to the community.
And that was a common thread in all of the discussions as well, like the strength of the community. It was in the creators panel, it was in the SPO panel, and like I was so happy I could finally meet people I've talked with on the internet, like John from Fluid Pool was amazing, and I'm just really grateful for the time there, Chris. So I appreciate having us.
Absolutely our pleasure. Thank you for you guys put so much effort into. Obviously, both of you. I know, Einstein. You made a little bit more of a trip of it. But I didn't believe when I was chatting to Thomas and he said that he was flying over in the morning and then shooting back on either the night or the next morning. That was it just goes to show how much effort people put in. So thank you both for that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just a short trip. It's a 2-hour flight, so for me, it's not a big deal. I mean, Einstein, he had 3 hours more than me each way almost. So, or 2, yeah. So
even more than that. I'm in the wilderness, but that's all good.
Yeah, he lives up there with the polar bears. All right. I see now on my clock that we've spent the exact amount of time that we should. So I think that's a perfect way to end this. Thank you so much for joining us and talking a little bit about the summit in London, Chris.
Not at all. It's been fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Yep. All right. Have a good day.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.